letting society tell you about the best skincare routines, the hottest plastic surgeons, or the cream that will keep your skin from aging. It's time we start asking ourselves, what the fuck is beauty anyway? If we remove all the IG filters, is there more to a beautiful face than just skincare? Well, I'm here to share it with you, and hell yeah there is. My name is Jen Carrasco. I have been an esthetician, as well as a high-level fitness competitor, and an all-around badass for over a decade. And I need you to know there is way more to keeping your mind and body clean than just a cream. Join me each week as I cut the BS out of getting healthy, caring for ourselves, and caring for our skin. I share real tips, real ingredients, and real experience. Now let's get some answers on what the fuck is beauty anyway. Hey guys, it's Jen here with Virago. So I am honored and excited to have Megan Kramer here. And I'm gonna actually let Michelle do a little bit of the lowdown because it's something that I'm extremely excited about with everything she's bringing to the table as far as what she's doing healthcare wise for herself, for her clientele or family friends, and then also on the other aspect of freezing your asses off to get to the next level. So with that said, I'm just going to let Michelle take over some of the questions.
Okay, so let me just introduce to you Megan. Megan is married. She's got 3 beautiful children, 2 sons and a daughter. She's originally from Colorado, attended St. Mary's College in Illinois. Is that correct?
I was actually in Indiana.
Indiana, okay, there, stand corrected. And then came to California back in 1997. So she is a yoga instructor at many local studios, as well as an owner of a U.S. Cryotherapy in Davis. And Megan is also a huge advocate for healing the body and mind through Ayurveda lifestyle. So speaking of that, tell us a little bit more about what Ayurveda is.
Yeah, so Ayurveda is my true passion. As a yoga instructor, I've been teaching I always go off my middle son. My older son's 23, but my younger one is almost 20. And I started teaching when he was a baby. So that's how long I've been teaching yoga. And I got introduced to Ayurveda just going through teacher training originally, but I've been diving into it deeper the last 5 years. And Ayurveda, for some of you guys that don't know it actually, the word breaks down to meaning the science of life. So it's all about really being a healthy lifestyle, is really learning to live in your body and do things healthy.
So tell us more. I know a little bit about Ayurveda, and I know I've heard of talk about the elements and the doshas that are out there. Can you kind of just share with us about some of that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people definitely can jump into the doshas because there is the 5 elements of earth, water, air, fire, and space.
So can we reel it back just a little bit for some people, especially like me, that has no clue about any of the wording that you guys are talking about. So, I mean, I, of course, have done plenty of different forms of exercises and things like that, but you're talking dosha and all of that. I mean, explain to the listeners, what is that?
Right. So dosha is like your constitution or what you're made up of. So the elements of the 5 elements, there's 3 doshas and you're made up of, you usually have 1 or 2 doshas that are more dominant. And that just means what your energy is, right? So there's the 3 of them. There's the vata energy or vata dosha that's made up of air and ether. So air and space. There's the pitta constitution or dosha that is fire and water. So more fiery. It's your personality, it's your makeup, and it's even your body type. So then the last one is kapha, which is made up of earth and water. And so there's the doshas of your body. You can go down a rabbit hole in Ayurveda. So some people do get a little bit like, oh my gosh, this is so much stuff, because there's the doshas that break down into people, like what you are as a person, your constitution. There's seasonal doshas, like the seasons. There's a vata season, a kapha season, and pitta season. Pitta would be summer. Kapha, we're going into the kapha season now that we're going into spring. So a lot of people that they call it the mud season. It's made up of mud, of water and earth. It's the muddy season of spring. And then the Vata season is the fall. It's that airy kind of, think of Vata as being very airy and spacey. Like it goes in all different directions. It's sporadic. It's different. You don't know what's coming next. So that's the way it's made up. So if you think of the season of fall, you don't like one day it's hot. Sometimes it's windy. It's cold. You're changing seasons. You're getting ready to kind of shift from summer into fall.
And those are kind of characteristics of a Vata person, being a little bit kind of not airy, but I guess kind of airy and just kind of like very artistic. Sometimes I think that's one of the characteristics, very flowing all the kind of time, where Pitta is more of maybe a hothead because that's a summer kind of dosha that's going on, right?
Yep.
So
yes, and there's these different parts of our life, right? So there's the seasonal parts of your life. You break it down into that. So Ayurveda can get really technical or very detailed. But it's also basically, when I broke it down, to the science of life. And you can also think of it as like the balance, or opposites balance each other out. And in the way to feel balanced is really what you're trying. That's the optimal health, is to feel balanced and healthy. And everyone's balance feels different, right? So
how did you start your education with this?
I took I went into an Ayurveda school.
Okay.
Yeah, with Yoga Healer.
Okay.
Yeah, with Kate Stillman is my mentor, and she has a program and that teaches you about Ayurveda. You can become a yoga health coach through her program. Teaching, and that's what I do as well on the side. So I'm a yoga instructor, and then I have a program where I teach people Ayurveda habits and how to live in your own body and with your constitution and have rhythm to your day. And it's a year-long program, and it's all online, and it's called Live to Thrive. So it's Live to Thrive MK. That's my website, livetothrivemk.com. So
okay.
Megan Kramer.
Okay. And how has it changed your life since you've started?
So much so. I think of when I didn't have these habits, and I call them my habits, right? That's really what my course is. It's about the habits of Ayurveda, which really comes down to getting in sync with nature, getting in sync with the rhythm that's already happening around, like waking up in the morning with a plan, really having a container to your day. And it can be as simple as that. And it's been life-changing, really. I think of myself as a healthy person. For all these years of teaching yoga, people would have probably looked at me and said, you're a healthy person that's into health and wellness and fitness. But it really wasn't until the last 5 years of really living these habits that I felt really grounded and healthy every day. It's real. So it has been very life-changing.
I agree with that completely, because I feel just even as a person like myself, I have to be structured. So that's kind of like how that is for you, is having that structure in your life.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's like the waking up. So some of the habits I can kind of give you guys an idea, are waking up with start your day right. Scraping your tongue, starting with warm lemon water, drinking warm lemon water throughout the day, having some kind of meditation or spiritual practice in the morning. It can be as short as a minute. It doesn't have to be this long fancy thing, but that's the way you start. And you're also trying to eliminate in the morning first thing too. So having your elimination happening at the beginning of the day, getting a little bit of body movement in the beginning of the day too. And it doesn't have to be it can be your workout, it can be your run, it can be that, but it could also just be 5 jumping jacks, getting a little prana, life flow into your, having oxygenated blood to start your day before you run out the door or even stay in the door and work from home, which we're all doing these days. So that's really been important, to just stay on a routine while we're going through the shift of different things that we're going through right now. So that's that's one of the habits. Another one is eating earlier, lighter dinner. So therefore, really, I like to change that one to having a bigger, better lunch. Eating your biggest meal in the middle of the day when your digestive fire is the strongest. We actually produce more bile physically in the middle of the day, so our body's actually able to break down foods better in the middle of the day. So eating during the daylight, and really kind of to try to stop eating when the sun goes down. So that goes into intermittent fasting, but that's a little bit more of a healthy term that's maybe not so Ayurvedic, right? Rhythmic eating is the way Ayurveda thinks of it, versus intermittent fasting, taking that time to give your digestive tract a break, not snacking throughout the day, instead drinking, water throughout the day and eating the 3 meals. Letting your body have rest.
Well, I feel like a lot of those tips that you just mentioned too are just really important now that we're going through what we're going through right now. A lot of people are staying home. They're out of their routine. So this would probably be a great time for people to pick up some new ones since they actually can commit a time. They're not having to get up quickly in the morning, get ready for work, get the kids ready out the door. Now this is the time we can really step back and really assess our routines in the morning and start adding in those great habits with the lemon water and movement in the morning or light meditation or something like that.
I'm glad that you brought that up too, because I really think that with everything that's happening right now in society, that it's going to make people realize by doing these little things how more productive they are in life. And then they're probably going to make this a habit going forward after said and done, and we can actually, talk to each other outside of our homes or social media. But
and everything she mentioned doesn't cost a dime.
No.
Right? There's no money involved in that, right?
Yeah,
it's just really, it's really just.
Yeah, it's getting structure to your life and giving yourself a plan, connecting with the rhythms of nature, really.
Yeah.
So right now we just kind of entered into the whole spring, and I know that's one of the things that you had mentioned too. So what kind of things should we be eating if we need to eat, or what kind of exercises should we be doing in this time of season?
Yeah, that's great. I actually just did a little thing on the spring. So spring is kapha season, like we said. It's that muddy season, and it's the time where you want to start to go towards more greens. It's they're already what's growing. So if you don't want to get overwhelmed about it, it's like eat what's in season, what is growing right now in your own garden if you have one, or what's really available in the produce, like what's not being shipped here from Mexico, what's actually growing locally. So seasonally is where you can first start, then you can move closer to then it's locally. Then maybe it is in your own garden. But greens this time of year, because they're just helping you naturally in the spring, you'll feel that desire to want to shed and get cleaner and leaner. You want to move a little bit more in the spring. You can do more vigorous workouts, and you'll feel, if you really listen to your desire, it is when you want to suddenly be like, I want to start a plan, or maybe I want to run more. It is when you naturally feel that desire to push.
Because we just came out of our Vata season, right? The winter season where we're consuming heavy foods through the holidays. We're a little bit fluffier, most of us. So there's that spring is like a refresh of the year, right?
Yep. And you want to be, and it's okay to be you want to shed those pounds, to have them. You need them in the winter just to keep your immunity, that a little bit of extra weight. You need more sleep in the winter. It is time to slow down, but now spring is the time to start moving. And it's to take it to what's moving, right? It doesn't mean you have to run 3 miles, but maybe it is the vigorous 5 jumping jacks and push-ups or burpees or something. If that brings, you want to get your heart rate going.
Right. Get the blood pumping.
It's like the spring cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the inside.
Because you hear these things. They're old. Another way to think of Ayurveda is ancient wise, it's wisdom. Wisdom that you hear from your grandmother that just doesn't happen as much, right? It's just not our society that we hear from our elders some tips. But that is true. It's spring cleaning, get up and move, go to bed early. It's kind of your little grandmother
go milk
telling
the cow.
you things.
Whatever. Yeah. All right, well, so let's just switch gears real quick. So there's another part of your life that you're very much into, and that's the cryotherapy. So just kind of share us about what that is, one, and then who really benefits from those types of treatments.
That's so cryotherapy has been my family's passion for the last 10 years. So my husband and his 2 brothers, and his dad brought cryotherapy to the United States. They were the first electric cryotherapy business and have grown since. So it's U.S. Cryotherapy is their business. We have about, I think it's 20 centers around the country. But it's all about getting your blood moving and circulating your blood through your body, getting rid of inflammation, kind of shocking your system in this cold, crazy, like you said.
I love it.
Yeah. Just getting cold, shocking your nervous system to then send out the message to when you come out of the cold chamber, which people, like you said, what is this? It's the cold chamber that you go into and you shock your system to feeling like you need to warm up. And then that's when that oxygenated blood flows through you and it gets rid of inflammation. It has tons of benefits of increasing your metabolism, better sleep.
I noticed when I went in there, it takes your breath away when you first, it's so fucking cold in there. So it's just kind of it is. It takes your breath away and you're just kind of
we got Michelle swearing. I'm so excited.
So, but you just kind of move around, and in your guys' center, I love it because they play music for you in there while you're in there. So, but just literally getting out there. But when I came out, I felt mentally so much more alert.
Yeah.
So much more. It was crazy.
You actually, they're doing studies, but it sends out hormones and cortisol. It sends out hormones to help you feel good, the feel good, happy,
But
hormones.
It's healing too. I mean, it does a lot for our body and our regeneration, even cancer cells, things like that I think, of course, you can't say, yes, it's going to drastically help that. But it does a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, overall, even skin.
I know a lot of athletes go in.
Yeah, athletes. We have a lot of athletes come in. We also have people that with just chronic health issues and aches and pains or sleep issues, because it does help people sleep better, migraines. It's truly helping your immune system and helping your body in a simple way. And it doesn't take very long. That's like another cool thing. It's a really quick 3.5 minute thing that you're in and out that has a lot of benefits to it. It helping to stay strong. And I think that's been the topic of like this virus too, is to make sure you have a strong immune system and can keep yourself healthy.
Absolutely.
Are your chambers open right now? Is everything closed?
They are closed because so we're working with that. I mean, it's hard to think that this is definitely something everyone should be doing. Mm-hmm. It should be essential. It's the word I was thinking. It's falling into the non-essential because it's not medically, proven yet, but it's definitely. Well, we were saying that I think that when we all come out, when we're all released from our lockdown, that it's going to be something that people are going to really want to go to in order to feel better after maybe feeling stagnant and like maybe the depressed or anxious, the anxiety that a lot of, and this
stress
kind of thing will help you
absolutely
feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, well, perfect. So where can more people go to learn more about your Live to Thrive and then even the cryotherapy centers?
Yeah, so my Live to Thrive website is livetothrivemk.com. And then the US Cryotherapy is uscryotherapy.com. So, and it's US and it's cryo spelled CROYO. Wait, no, I can't even spell it out now. CRYO. So just cry and then O,
and then
therapy.com. Mm-hmm. I'm not a good speller out loud. I got to write it.
Nobody is judging you at all. Awesome.
Yeah, that was perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here. And
is there anything else that you want to share that you feel driven about or?
Just the point of staying healthy right now. I think it's really important for us all to make sure that we know we can do one thing each day to help us feel like we want to thrive. And it doesn't have to be, I think people sometimes get overwhelmed and think it needs to be this big thing.
Big change.
And a big plan. It can literally be just like, I'm going to drink water today only. Not only, but like instead of all the other stuff that I might drink.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I truly appreciate this today.
Yeah, it's been fun.
We had a couple little technical difficulties with getting the computer to work very well for us this morning.
And true to personality, Jen was not giving up.
Yes. And everybody was very patient.
Yes.
So that's a wrap, you guys, and I will see you next week.
All right, peace out.
Thanks for tuning in this week. I hope you feel more empowered and more inspired to love the skin you're in. As we navigate new society norms and beauty daily, make sure to always ask yourself, what the fuck is beauty to me? And know that's all that matters. If you love this content today, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow me and get more info on my guests at ViragoStudio.com. Yes, I said it, ViragoStudio.com. And that's the shit. See you on the next episode, beauties.